Hi everyone, I'm Sam from Bio Cosplay. Today we're taking a look at the Amazing Yamaguchi Shota Aizawa. I got this figure from Hobby Genki, and this is actually a replacement. I got one previously from them, and there ended up unfortunately being damage to the figure. What I believe to be heat damage, and it was falling apart. I contacted them, and then eventually, after posting on my YouTube channel in the community section, that's when they said they would send a replacement, and they did, so I'm glad they eventually resolved the issue and that I was able to get a replacement for this figure because I was very disappointed. Since I love the Amazing Yamaguchi My Hero line, and I was very excited for Aizawa, so I'm happy that I have one in good condition now. So with all that, let's hop into the review. Here's a look at the package. It's the new gray Revoltech packaging that has their school photo background over here. I kind of like the previous packages a little bit more. These are just a little bit plain. There's no window for the figure on the front. But it's fine. I don't really keep the boxes anyway. It says Shota Aizawa on the bottom, My Hero on the top. A couple close-ups on this side. And then poses on the back, and you can see the accessories laid out here. Here he is out of the package, and I think he looks very accurate to the source material. You could say that the outfit is a little bit plain, since it's primarily just black plastic, but also that is how he looks in the anime. Some shading would have been nice. I feel like I'm going to say that for every figure though. His outfit just lends to a bit of a plain design. I think the shape of it and the silhouette looks really good. He's a bit thin and lanky, which is accurate, and I think the scarf looks nice. It helps broaden out the shoulders just a little bit, because otherwise he's a pretty thin guy. He doesn't have the widest shoulders. The face looks really nice. He looks uninterested in being here, which is appropriate. We'll take a closer look at some of this. There's the face. The lines for the facial hair are very clean. He's got some little lines around his eyes that make him look tired. There are layers around the scarf, and those are sculpted nicely. I do wish that maybe there was a little bit of shading to bring those out some, but I don't think it's terrible. On the back, he's got the two tendrils from the scarf. Those are on little ball hinges. We'll show those off in the articulation. You can see on the shoulders he's got some wrinkle detailing. That'll maybe help capture the light a little bit. Coming down to the torso, some more wrinkles on the stomach. And he has tattered sleeves. The tatters look pretty nice. Then I believe the forearm is a separate piece of plastic that's glued into the sleeve there, because it doesn't really look painted. And the plastic in there, you can see, is the same color. So I think that's probably just glued in there. Either way, it looks nice. A nice color separation. Down at the belt, there are some little blue details here for his pouches. They're mostly clean, maybe a little tiny bit of paint spilling over the edge, but it's not going to be too noticeable unless you're super up close like this. Those are on the back in blood as well. Coming down to the pants and legs, he has little peg holes for the pockets. Those will be for a hand accessory we'll show in the accessories section. A couple wrinkles there, and then down at the pants, you can see they hang over the boots because they're a bit baggy. There's some nice rumpling there, like that. And on the boots themselves, there's one metallic silver detail for the zipper on the boot. That's painted very cleanly. It's not super noticeable since it's on the inside, but I think it's a nice hit of color. Then the bottom of the boots are sculpted and painted gray. So for the look, subjectively, I like it a lot. Objectively, it is a little bit plain. There's not a ton of paint or shading, which would have been nice. Personally, I like the way it looks a lot. On to articulation. The head is on a double ball peg, and then the neck is on a ball peg as well. So looking up, you can only look up about this much because the head bumps into this collar piece. There's a separate collar piece that's less bulky that I'll show in a moment. Then looking down with all that, you can look down pretty well. And I'll just go ahead and show this now. This is a separate collar piece that's a little bit smaller. Here's the one that comes on him in the package for comparison. So it has this bulky bit on the back. And then we just snap that into his little scarf section, like that. Then here's that new collar piece, and with that he'll look up. Maybe he doesn't look up much better with that. I thought he did. Well, about that much, and then down this much. And then there is swivel and some side to side tilt. The hair is going to bump into things a little bit, and since it's a double ball peg, you can kind of move that around however you want. At the scarf, these two sections over the shoulders are on hinges, so you can scooch those up or down. Again, gonna bump it to the hair, but depending on how you have the head pose, you can move those in different ways. At the shoulders, might be hard to see in here, but there's a ball hinge that comes out to a ball peg. So with that, you can lift the arms up this much, pretty good. And then since it's on that ball, you can kind of disconnect it a little bit and shift it out more if you need to. It'll just help for some little adjustments. There's also a butterfly joint that's cut at an angle, and that swivels back and forth, so that'll let you bring the arm forward that much and back pretty far as well. Then down at the elbows, there's another one of those ball hinges with a ball peg coming into the forearm, so you can hinge up this much, but then you can shift it a little bit more on the ball peg, get just a smidge more range out of it, and that'll just let you adjust it some to hide gaps and things. At the wrist, there's another ball hinge that'll let you swivel and hinge the hand around however you'd want. Down at the waist, I know all too well what's in here because my last Aizawa was constantly falling apart here. There's a ball peg coming down from the torso, and that connects to a socket, like a double-ended socket. So the top pegs into that, and then there's a little Y ball peg situation at the pants, so then that'll plug into the bottom of that double ball socket. So at the diaphragm, he will lean back this much, pretty good for just the diaphragm, and forward this much, also very good. Then with both that and the waist, you can lean back all the way and forward very far. I mean, if you bend the neck as well, look at that. What a bend. So great range there. The joints on this one are nice and snug. You also get side to side tilt on both those joints. That's very good. And swivel. That will only be limited by them clashing into the pants, since they're oval in nature, so you probably can't twist them around all the way. The little belt sections, these are on a hinge, so you can hinge these out of the way. I think it looks a little bit weird that the pouch is on a hinge, but then when you hinge it out of the way, the pouch is still there. I don't know. For the scarf, these two tendrils are on ball hinges, so you can swivel those out of the way. Those are also removable, and you can swap those out later. The peg is pretty snug on that, which I'm happy about. What a stance. Down at the legs, the hips will go out this much, but if you're used to Revoltech figures, you may know that if you swivel the thigh, then you can get the full splits on him. So you just gotta swivel these thighs out, and then you're good to go. Another option for that is to kick the leg forward and then bring it out to the side. It does have them forward at an angle a little bit. So hips are a little bit fiddly on Amazing Yamaguchi figures. but once you figure out how to do them, they're fine. As you saw, there's that swivel at the thigh, but that is at an angle. You can also swivel it on the ball peg up at the hip. Single jointed knees that get very good range. Porchi, can I help you? Thanks, but yep. Thank you. As I was saying, single jointed knees that get very good range, but they do look a little gross. They're a little cut up here. What are your thoughts on that, Porchi? How do you feel about the knees? Porchi, it's just we're trying to do a review again. Don't bite me. So from some angles, you're going to see this kind of blocky cutout at the leg. It's not terrible, but it's not great. I don't love it. It looks a little gross. It's just not ideal. Like, having this giant flat spot isn't great. But it's serviceable, and it works well. And I think once you get imposed, it will be fine. You can bring the leg forward a little bit on that hinge as well, which kind of hyperextends the knee, and then you get this little blocky section at the back that sticks out. At the boot, I think it's a ball peg in here. You can kind of waggle this around and move it forward and back some. And there is a bit of swivel in there. Then at the feet, these will hinge back this much forward. Only about that much. There is an ankle rocker and a toe hinge. And the toe hinge is nice and stiff, so that'll actually be useful. And it's sculpted well. It has a nice curve to it. So overall, good articulation, as to be expected from an Amazing Yamaguchi figure. Cat butt. Mostly just the knees look a little bit ugly. For me personally, that's alright. The enjoyment I'm going to get out of posing it outweighs the aesthetic complaints I might have with the knee. Porchi, why you like this? For accessories, he will come with an additional head with this windswept hair. His hair is like this when his power is activated. The face that comes on this head in the package also has red eyes, indicating that he's using his power. He will also come with an interchangeable front of the hair piece that has the goggles attached. And those look pretty good. The gold and black is pretty clean on there, so I like those. And then he'll come with these 4 additional face plates. The 2 on the left have red eyes. One's like an angry, gritting teeth face, one looking to the side, and then these 2 on the right have the black eyes, where one he's kind of got a smirk with one eyebrow up and another looking to the side. And then I also got the exclusive version, which came with this 1 additional faceplate on the end here. This is just one where he's looking happy with the mouth open. It's not quite as exciting of an accessory as like the Agent Venom extra head, but I like Aizawa, so I wanted to splurge a little bit on him. All these faces look very nice though. All the little lines are super clean on them, so no issues here. Then for hands, the figure will come with fist hands on it in the package, as well as 9 additional hands. 2 thumbs up hands, 2 hands that look like fist hands, but they have a hole in them for gripping onto the scarf. 2 hands with the fingers splayed out. 1 kind of pointing hand. I don't remember off the top of my head if this is for a specific scene or power or anything. And then 2 gripping hands. And then also 2 of these half hands for putting the hands in the pockets. And these look fine. They just have a straight peg. You have to remove the ball hinge to use them, and then they just slot into the pocket. Since they don't have a hinge, it's kind of just a one position you can really get them in. but they look pretty good. And there's that little tab that slides into the pocket. He comes with this additional collar piece that's shaped a bit differently. So there's the different collar piece and hair. And with those, there's how much you can look up and how much you can look down. And then just real quick, the previous collar piece and that hair and how much you can look up and down. So maybe a little bit more range up with this one. He'll come with his knife sheath that can plug into the back here. It has two pouches on it that are painted cleanly. Those look nice. And then he also comes with one where the knife is drawn, so the knife handle's missing there. And then here's this knife that he can hold in the gripping hand. It's painted well. Then he'll come with multiple of these scarf bits, two of these curved ones that are very soft and pliable. This one will attach to his back. You can just pop off the other attachment that's already on him, slide that one on, and then you can pose him holding it whichever way you'd like. It's pretty soft and can reach across to both arms. Then it'll come with two of these long curved ones. These are a stiffer plastic, so that one looks pretty neat and dynamic. And then he'll also come with two of these long straight ones. And just like the others, those will just slide into the hands. These are also the stiffer plastic. So a decent amount of options there. In the package with the display stand, there are these tiny papers and clipboard. These look really good. And these are actually what this one kind of pointing hand is for. You can slide those in there. Like that. And he holds onto those pretty well, so that's a fun accessory. Finally, he comes with a display stand that has two options for holding him up. This little grippy claw attachment, and then one with a smaller peg. And both of those just slide onto the end. It's pretty stiff though, so I'd be careful sliding it on. I've had some of the earlier Amazing Yamaguchi stands break off at this little nubbin, especially when sliding it into the figure, so that's probably why they include this now, I assume. It's also a little baggy with two additional joints, one gray, one skin tone. So a good spread of accessories. They usually do a pretty good job with the accessories. I like these little flexible scarf bits maybe the best. For size and comparisons, Aizawa's standing at about 5 3/4 inches tall. Here he is next to Bakugo and Deku. Here he is with All Might and Endeavor. Here he is with Hawks and Todoroki. Here he is with Kirishima, and then for an SH Figuarts comparison, Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen. And then for a couple of domestic figures, here's the NECA Last Ronin Raphael and Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Nightcrawler. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this figure. I really enjoy Amazing Yamaguchi figures in general though. I just like the way they pose and how they're stylized. Aizawa's a cool character, and this is a cool figure as well. My only real complaint with him is that there's not very much paint on him, and there's not really any shading for any of the black parts of the costume or on the scarf. So those could have improved it a bit, but even without that, I'm still enjoying the figure. So the Amazing Yamaguchi My Hero Academia line continues to be one of my favorites, and I'm glad I picked up this figure. I don't know if it's quite as good as Agent Venom, because that figure I feel like was exceptional. That this one, also a very fun figure. Let me know if you'll be picking up this figure or if you're collecting the My Hero figures in general. I hope this video helped you decide if you wanted to pick him up. I'll be getting the other My Hero figures in the future, so don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see those. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.